do that. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining today. This practice can be done on a chair or on a yoga mat. So I'm gonna give some options. For the chair options, I always kind of give it the second option. So might take some time so that you're able to get into it. But there will be the options there. So to get started, those of you who are on the ground, we're just gonna lay down onto our backs. And for those of you who are on the chair, just sitting comfortably. You can even have your back against the back of the chair to be comfortable. And then on the ground, for those on the ground, you can join the soles of your feet together. Okay, so joining the soles of the feet together and then just reclining back onto your backs, and your knees can fall out to the side. And we're just gonna get into a relaxed position here. So for those on the mat, just letting the knees fall down to the sides and feeling gravity gently pull the knees towards the earth. And then as for the arms, you can just have them laying by your side, about like a 45-degree angle, and the palms are facing up. If you're on the chair, you can also rest the back of your hands onto your thighs and just have relaxed shoulders. And we'll just take this time to let our body and mind arrive on the mat or on the chair. Beginning to let go of whatever occurred before class or what will happen after class, any plans. Just letting that go and feeling your body arrive here in the present moment, in the now. Now see if you can soften your body without forcing to softening, but just letting go. Shoulders, chest relaxed, the hips as well. So just letting gravity gently pull them down towards the chair or the mat. And since it's the month of February, the month of the heart, we'll be focusing on the heart chakra, which is just an energy center in the body. So this energy center is often linked to our connection to ourselves and others, to love, compassion. So I'll invite you throughout the practice to maybe repeat this affirmation, which is, I am open to giving and receiving love. So again, I am open to giving and receiving love. And remembering throughout the practice to be kind to yourself, letting go of expectation, and just fully immersing yourself in the experience. So we'll start to invite a bit of movement in our fingers and our toes. Maybe moving our head from side to side, so right to left. For those of you on the chair, maybe doing a couple yeses and nos. Here, focusing on the pelvic area. What we're going to do for those of you who are on the mat is gently start pressing your feet into the mat and see if you can gently the pelvis off of the mat. So see if you can hover a little bit for just a millisecond and then slowly bring it down. So going up and down in a flowing movement. And then for those of you who are on the chair, just opening up the knees wide bringing the feet closer together, and then pressing the knees against the hands gently, and then releasing it. So it's like you're pushing against each other. So your hands are pushing against your knees, and your knees are pushing against your hands, and then releasing. So just doing a couple of those, inviting a bit more opening in the pelvic area. So again, if you're on the mat, press into the feet to lift the hips gently, and then releasing them back down. Once you've done about 10 of those, letting go and coming back to that relaxed position, reclined butterfly. And then reach down to your knees, and then bring the knees towards each other. When you're ready, start to bring the knees into your chest. So same for everyone that's on the chair. You can bring one knee in at a time towards your chest, just squeezing it in. Squeezing one knee in, and then the other. And again, keeping the chest relaxed here and grounded on your mat. And then letting go, letting the feet fall back to the ground. And then we'll make our way into a tabletop position. So for those on the ground, just turning over onto your right side. And then pressing yourselves up. And we'll come on to the knees. For those of you on the chair, just staying seated here. And we'll do a couple cats and cows. So just moving the spine gently. So if you're on your knees and you feel your knees are sensitive, you can use the blanket for support under your knees. And then from here, start to inhale. The tailbone comes up towards the sky, looking up, and the chest as well, going up, dipping the belly down. And then as you exhale, you're rounding the spine, press into your hand, and tops of the feet are grounded. So doing sort of like a wave-like motion. So on the chair, similar, but just in a seated pose. So hands are on the thighs. As you inhale, start to bring the shoulder blades towards one another. Chest is up. And then exhale, you're just rounding the spine, looking towards your navel. And then trying to just gently match your breath to the movement. So on the inhale, you're opening up the chest, looking up. And on the exhale, start to round, look down, chin to chest. So also just taking your time in these postures. So there's absolutely no rush to go through these. Actually, the longer the breath, the slower the movement helps to really bring you into this space on your mat. Really focusing on taking your time here. And then let's finish one more in each, okay? So one more cat and one more cow. As you inhale through the nose. Then let's exhale, come back to that neutral spine. And then you'll just press yourselves up onto your shins for those of you on the mat. For those of you on the chair, we'll actually come to standing, but always keeping the chair right close. I'll demonstrate first. We're gonna come into gate pose. So I'll just turn this way, that way it's easier for you guys to see. So we'll be sticking out the right leg, okay? And having the edge of your foot parallel to the short end of your mat. And then bringing the arms up to the sky. And then bringing the right hand down onto your extended leg. Reach up towards the sky so there's some length here on the left side of your torso. And if you're comfortable here, you can stay here, or you can add a little side bend. So you're kind of sliding your right hand down towards the leg and reaching over towards the right. So this is gate pose. So we'll hold it here for a second. And then for those of you who are standing, doing the same thing. So we'll actually come into more of a wide-legged stance. Reach your left arm up and just start to slide down your right leg, or maybe hold on to the back of your chair for some support. All right. So now on your next inhale, ground down through your knee and your right foot, lift back up. Fully inhale here, and then we'll guide the left hand down towards the mat so that the hand comes right underneath your left shoulder. So you might stay here. We're just aiming to open up the chest here and then maybe reach out your right arm up. And if you feel comfortable and want to add a bit more strengthening, you can start to gently lift the right foot off the ground. And you can kind of pulse the leg and then bring it back down, and doing that a couple times. So for those of you who are standing, we're just coming into, we need to be on the other side of the chair, but let's say that the chair is here, then you're going down, holding the chair, and then maybe lifting gently the leg, kind of pulsing up and down. And we're looking down maybe here at our knee and making sure that the left knee is right under the left hip. Okay, so finish last pulsing motion here. You're pressing through the heel of the right foot and then releasing down, pushing into your left hand to bring yourselves up. Let's come back onto our knees and we'll do the other side. So here, taking time to have good alignment. So we're having some safety coming into this posture. So we're extending the left leg out. And here you're aiming to ground down or press through the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, lower the left hand onto your left leg. And then start to do side bend towards the left. So creating some space here on the right side of the torso. So breathing, see if that right shoulder is kind of dropping forward. Try to inhale and roll the shoulder up and back. And keep breathing through it. And then inhale, ground down through the feet and knee, lift up to center, both arms. And now we're bringing the right hand down right under the shoulder. And then here, you might stay here with the left foot grounded, or you might try to pulse a little bit, try to balance, start to lift the left leg up. Keep breathing, so aiming sort of to make a T, so we're really having that left hand aligned with our right hand that's grounded. And pulse a little bit more. Great, and then exhale, lower the left foot down, press into your right hand, and let's bring ourselves up. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, lower the arms. Great. So now let's come into our downward dog. So we'll bring both our hands down onto the mat. Start looking down. Curl the toes under. And then as you inhale, start to lift the hips up towards the sky and the heels are grounding down. If you're standing, so just coming down to the base of your chair, placing the hands there, and just start to step the feet back. So we're aiming to kind of make an L shape with the body. So press the sit bones back and extend the arms so that we're getting a nice little stretch in the shoulders. Okay, and in downward dog, if you're on the mat, feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to, and then lift the hips up towards the sky. Let's take 2 breaths here, really press into your hands here aiming to lengthen the spine, and then as well opening up the hamstrings. Now from here, start to look up between the hands, and we'll step our left foot forward in between your hands. So you can come down onto your knees if you would like to have a bit more mobility and stability, and then just bring your left foot in between your hands. If you're standing, we're coming into a high lunge, so you can actually use your chair. So bring your left leg forward, and then the hips are facing sort of well, forward here. And then you have a nice little bend in your knee so that your thigh, your left thigh is supported by the bottom of the chair. So here in the lunge, you can either be on your knee, so your back knee can be grounded, or if you'd like a little bit more strengthening, you can lift up the back knee, and we're coming into a high lunge. So in this position, we're aiming to bring the right hip forward and the left hip back. You'll get a stretch here on the right side of the hip flexor. Okay, so here you can have your feet staggered as well, makes it a bit easier for balance. And start to bring the arms up, okay? About the width of your shoulders. And you can start to look up between the hands if you feel that your balance is there. If it's a bit too much of a challenge, you can always just look forward. You're still getting all of the same benefits. And then we're going to include a twist in here. So bring the hands forward, join the palms together, and then now reach the right hand back. So you're going to start looking towards the right and try to aim to look towards the back, so towards your right hand, relax shoulders. Keep the stance the same. At any point, you can always bring your back knee down. You'll still have that nice twist in there. And on your next inhale, bring the right hand back to front, and we'll just do the opposite. So left hand comes back, twisting towards the left. So you're keeping, so let's say this is my front, you're keeping the hips this way, and then you're twisting just the torso towards the back.
Okay.
Towards the left.
Okay, so the hips stay in the same place when you reach.
Exactly, so imagine you had like headlights, like from a car, they're still pointing towards the front.
Perfect,
so thanks. You're keeping that. No problem. All right, so inhale, bring the left hand back forward, and then slowly bring the hands down. If you're on the chair, just bring your hands to the chair. We're gonna step back into our downward dog. So left foot steps back, and then hips come back up. We'll just take 2 breaths here before we switch over to the right side. So feel free to walk the heels, maybe wave the hips from side to side. It's nice to just have some movement here, that whatever feels good, there's not really a structure to it. And then let's move over to our right side. So you might want to bring the knees down first. Right foot comes between the hands, and either come up into your low lunge or come up, lift the back knee, and the hips are facing forward, arms come up. If you're on the chair, same thing. So front leg, the right thigh is resting on your chair, and then you're extending your left leg back, and the heel is off the ground, and then looking forward. All right, let's take a breath here. One more inhale. See if you can come out of your waist, kind of extending the torso up, and then bring the hands forward, and we'll start getting into our twist. So starting with the left hand, back now, keeping the hips forward, Try to press the right knee out. It'll kind of want to come in, so try to press it out. Same thing if you're on the ground. So imagine that there's a force pressing your front knee towards the outer edge. Let's inhale, bring the left hand back forward. Twist over towards the right now. So right hand comes back, looking back. See if you can feel your hips being heavy as well. So maybe some gravity gently pulling them down. You'll increase that stretch in your hip flexor. And then let's inhale, bring both hands forward. And then from here, we're actually gonna come to the top of the mat. So we'll make our way to standing. So hands come down on the mat. Bring the left leg forward to meet the right. And we'll come into our forward fold. So if you're using the chair, just coming up off the chair. And then just using the chair here to let the head relax. You can even let the arms dangle if that feels comfortable for you. Of course, if you're feeling dizzy or that it's a bit too much having the head low, you can always come sort of like in an L shape, just so that the blood flow is not as intense to the head. All right, and then we'll make our way up. So ground into your feet, press into the feet, bend into your knees, and then stretch the arms out, reach up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands down. You can join the palm of the hands at your heart. And just take a breath here. This is Tadasana or mountain pose. So release the arms by your sides so that the palms are shining forward. And then come into more of a balancing sequence here. So you can open the eyes. And then always having the chair close if you're using the chair for some support. And the next one that we'll be doing is starting to ground down through the left leg, press into the ground, shift your weight in your left leg, and then start to gently bring the right knee up. See if you can balance holding the right knee up. You might use the chair for some support here, and see if you can bring the knee up as close as you can to your chest, okay? Without kind of hugging it in, just doing it on your own without the help of your hands. Hold it for one more second, and then let's see if we can kick the right foot back now. So at any point, you can always tap the foot down, but you can start to kick the left heel back. We'll come into warrior 3. So the arms come by your side, sort of like an airplane or airplane wings. Keep a slight bend in your left knee. And try to press through the right heel, looking down towards the ground. Using the chair if you're there as well, just to kick the right foot back. Keep breathing here. You know, with effort, often we start to forget to breathe. So remember the breath. And then press into your left foot to come back to standing. Drop the right foot, shake it out a little bit, and we'll do the other side. Okay? So again, use the chair or wall if you have one available to help with supporting you with balance. We're shifting the weight now in our right leg. And once you've found, sometimes finding a point of focus, like on the ground that's not moving, can help with balance. So you can start to bring the left knee up towards the chest. The hands can come to your hips, or if you want to bring them to the side, relax, that's another option. When you're feeling ready, let's come into our airplane or warrior 3. So start to press, kick the heel, the left heel back, chest coming down towards the earth, looking down, and then the arms to your side at a 45, palms are facing down as well. So see if your left hip is opening up. Keep the left hip pointing down. Again, remembering sort of these like the headlights from a car, the headlights are pointing down. One more full breath into our warrior three. And then inhale, making your way back up, shaking it out. Great. We'll continue another standing posture into wide-legged forward fold. So if you have a chair, if it's on the side, try to bring it in front, just so that you'll have access to it more easily if you're using a mat on the ground. So spreading the legs wide. I know it's kind of hard to see with the chair, but spreading the legs wide, the toes, the big toes are slightly pointing in, okay, towards the middle. And then the hands can come to your hips here. We're coming into our forward fold. So first we'll come into a half fold. So on the inhale, you're increasing the length of your spine. Inhale, shoulders back a little bit. Exhale, you're hinging, folding from the hips. Okay, and then coming halfway. Okay, so here we're opening up the back of the hamstrings. So if you have the chair, reach for the chair in front of you for some support. And just looking down so that you don't strain your neck. So you might stay here, or if you'd like to come fully down, start to release the torso, the head down. Your hands can start resting on the mat in front of you or the ground. And then here you'll fully let go. So exhale, crown of your head coming down towards the mat. And trying to align the hips at the same level as your feet. So oftentimes the hips will kind of press back. So try to bring the hips gently forward in line with your feet. Let's do 2 more breaths in this fold. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, letting go. Maybe coming back to our affirmation of I am open to give and receive love. And then when you're feeling ready, start to use your hands to press down and lift. Coming back to our half fold, just to let the blood come back to the body. And then press into your feet and we'll start to lift up fully, coming back to standing. And then we'll heel toe our feet in. So heel toe, bring the feet back. And just to release the hips, I like to encourage doing a figure 8. So imagining you're drawing a figure 8 with your hips. So bringing the hips back, forward, and then doing figure 8 motion with the hips. And then opposite direction. So drawing it the opposite way. All right, coming back to standing. And we'll do one more hip opener before we make our way back onto the mat. So the chair again being easy access, we're still in that standing posture. If you feel more comfortable on the chair, please feel free to sit back down on the chair. You'll be able to do this posture on the chair as well. So coming into a figure 4, so we'll start with grounding through our left leg. We'll do it this way, it'd be easier. Grounding through the left leg, bringing your right ankle on top of the left thigh. Okay, so you might choose to stay here, maybe with the support of the chair and opening up the right knee towards the back. Or you might start to bend into your left leg and start folding. So you can encourage that opening of the right thigh out. So it's kind of spiraling out, coming into that figure 4. If you're sitting, same thing. Bringing the right heel over the left thigh. And then here you can start folding forward. And to protect the knee here, make sure to what we call is dorsiflexing. So flexing the toes of your right foot towards your right knee. That'll help to protect it. Okay. Breathing through that stretch. A wall can be some support as well if you're coming into this. Be a nice support, stabilizing. And then press into your left leg to lift back up. And we'll just do the opposite side. So figure 4 on the left side, flexing the toes, and then start to fold forward. Again, you can even use your left hand to kind of spiral the left thigh out. External rotation right here. Same thing if you're on the chair. You can do the exact same thing. And then folding forward. Maybe increasing sensations with the fold. All right, one more breath here. Lift back up. Come back to standing or just sitting on your chair. Do one more back bend or heart opening posture. So reaching back, you can interlace the fingers of your hands. And then from here, pulling the hands down towards the ground. That'll encourage the opening of the chest. And then here, maybe slight back bend. Keep pressing into your feet and lift the collarbone, heart up towards the ceiling. And just holding it for 3 breaths, keeping some engagement in your core. So having that engaged so we're not too relaxed. Same thing if you're on the chair, you can just reach back for the chair and then do the same type of back bend. And exhale, let's bring it back to standing. Tadasana, mountain pose. Just take a breath in this neutral space. Coming back to the natural S-curve of our spine. And just seated comfortably here on your chair. And then when you're feeling ready, we'll just make your way down into a seated position if you're on the mat. Keeping seated on your chair. We'll just finish with a short meditation, kind of letting the practice sink into our bodies. So always encourage comfort when you come into a seated position. So if you have a blanket and you'd like to lift your bum up a little bit, that helps to release the hips. Comfortable on the chair, have the feet grounded, so the soles of the feet are touching. And the arms are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. When you're feeling comfortable, you can either lower your gaze or maybe close your eyes. That feels safe for you. And start to imagine that there's a magnet underneath you, underneath your chair or underneath the ground that's anchoring your hips down into the earth. So feeling well grounded here. And then soften the shoulders, creating a bit more space in the neck. And then I'd like you to try to imagine a waterfall. Seeing maybe the waterfall from a distance. And gently walking up towards that waterfall. And the water in the waterfall is full of light and love. And you're approaching step by step. get right close to that waterfall. And you even become so close that you can start feeling some of the water hitting your body. And it's a gentle waterfall, so it's safe to actually walk under it. Then you decide to take a step forward. Start feeling the water washing over you. This water that's full of light and love starts at the top of your head, on your crown of your head. Fills you up with light and love, starting at the head, coming down to your throat, washing, coming down to shoulders, softening your shoulders, feeling that light and love completely envelop you. And then it starts pouring into your heart space, into that heart chakra or energy center. Filling your being, filling every cell in your body with vibrant love and light. Moving down to your belly, your hips, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. That light and love anchoring you to the ground beneath you. This waterfall washing away all worries, filling you up with light and love. Coming back to your affirmation, I am open to giving and receiving love. Whether that be for yourself or for others, you are open to give and receive love. Let's join our hands together at the heart space. Actually, let's bring the left hand onto the heart and then the right hand on top. And then finishing or closing the practice by thanking yourself for taking this time to practice today, taking this time for you. I wish you all a wonderful day. Hopefully that feeling of love that's washed over you throughout the practice will help you be open to giving and receiving more love for today. And lower the hands at your knees. When you're feeling ready, you can open up the eyes. If you'd like to stay on your chair a little longer, bask in this relaxing state, feel free to do so. If not, you can get up off of your mat, your chair, and start your day back up again. So thank you all for joining. I will be back in the month as well. We have another scheduled practice. So I hope to see you then. And we recorded it, so probably I think Alex and I were thinking that we would put it out